a better world. Trade is a powerful force for good. It connects us, creates opportunities, and drives innovation. Fair and equitable trade transforms lives and builds a better world. Regrow.
Thank you everyone for coming. Please take your seats. We are about to get started very soon. Thank you everyone for coming. We are about to get started. If you can please take your seats, we would appreciate that. Thank you very much, everyone. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to everyone who is in the house. Thank you all for joining us today, both online and here in person at the World Trade Organization for the outreach event of the year, as you know very well, the Public Forum. I'm Susanna Pak of the International Trade Center, and it's my pleasure to be your MC today. We are here today for a wide variety of reasons. Yes, WEIDE as in WEIDE, the acronym for Women Exporters in the Digital Economy, which is the name of the fund launched at the ministerial conference earlier this year. Here are 3 reasons for this session today. Number 1, to spotlight the role of women in shaping better trade for a better world. Number 2, to explore the role of digital trade in empowering women. And number 3, to fuel the first 2 reasons with a concrete commitment, financing for the fund. Our session name says it all. Let's get it done. WEIDE, empowering women through digital trade. And we're talking about this because if women can gain more access to digital tech, the same as men, they'll find more work opportunities, overcome some key trade barriers, and more easily access finance and education. And we know finance is a perennial issue for women in particular. So the end result is that they can support their families and their communities. That said, we have a great session for you, including a game featuring our Director General and Executive Director, and we'll have a grant signing as well. To set the scene for us, please help me welcome to the stage Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Director General of the World Trade Organization.
So thank you so much, Susanna, for those opening remarks. I could see you were trying your best to get this session off and going. So it brings me really great joy today, together with my wonderful sister, Pamela, to launch the pilot phase of applications for the Women's Exporters in the Digital Economy Fund. Let me give thanks to our wonderful staff from both the ITC as well as the WTO who put this together, because we may kick off the remarks, but we could never have done the work. So all those of our staff who did the work, stand up, please. Stand up, stand up. Don't be shy. Stand up. Yeah. Later on, we're also going to clap for another participant in this event who is making it possible, but we'll get there. Now, the WEIDE Fund, Women in the Digital Economy Fund, represents a pivotal step forward in our collective journey towards gender equality in trade and economic opportunities. This initiative is about much more than financial contributions and technical advice. It's about fostering a future in which women are recognized as indispensable drivers of economic progress. Over the past few months, our teams at the WTO and ITC have been bombarded with questions from women entrepreneurs all over the world on how they can apply for funding since we launched this at MC13. And finally, we have some precise answers. With many thanks to the UAE, please could we give the UAE a big shout out? Ambassador Al-Ali, is he here? There. And I cannot thank you and Minister Altani enough. I hope, I don't know if he's online and he can hear us, and the government of the UAE for the generous contribution that got us started. Thank you so much. It's enabling us to launch this effort in 4 countries. Through a competitive process, we will select 4 business support organizations in developing countries to partner with and I will want to encourage applications from all developing countries for these 4 business partners from developing countries that we want to partner with. Once we've selected the 4 partners, we'll work with them to launch competitions in each country, targeting hundreds of women to benefit from the fund through grants of up to $30,000, along with technical assistance. In 2011, as Finance Minister of Nigeria, under President Goodluck Jonathan, my team launched the Youth Enterprise with Innovation in Nigeria (YOUWIN) program, a large-scale national business plan competition for young entrepreneurs in the country. Over 24,000 young people applied for this competition, and 1,200 were selected and allocated an average of $50,000 each in grants. An evaluation by the World Bank based on the randomization of some of the grants showed that the winning entrepreneurs went on to create more firms, and that these firms survived longer, had higher profits and sales, and employed more people. The mechanism was straightforward. The grants enable businesses to scale, to attract more capital, and to hire more labor. One development scholar, Chris Blackman at the University of Chicago, said it might be the most effective development program today. The impacts are still visible. Last year, I met one of the YOUWIN 2014 winners, Ahmed Sani Naji, a farmer in Nasarawa State. From 6 employees in 2014, after benefiting from the YOUWIN program, he has now gone on to employ 3,000 people today, involved in rice, fish, and cotton production. I'm telling you this story not because I want to highlight or praise anyone or say anything to make us look like we were working. It's just to let you know that this kind of approach can really work, and that it's enduring when you encourage people to compete and you support them to do well. The businesses are enduring till today. This is 2024, 10 years later, and this young man who had 6 employees has 3,000. He's just one example of this program. We are hoping that what we are going to launch today, particularly with the expertise we have in ITC, in supporting women entrepreneurs, which I'm very proud of, that we will be able to support women who will win from this grant to create more jobs, more employment, to scale, and to last in a durable fashion. We know that women who export, and this is why we're supporting women in the digital economy so that they can export more, women who export earn 3 times more than those who sell domestically. But many of these women often don't have access to what they need in order to scale. There are so many barriers, which we all know, that stand in their way, from knowledge to financing to even how to manage success sometimes. Some of them succeed, and I've seen plenty of that, but how to go to the next step, they don't know how to manage it. So we will be providing that kind of support. You've heard me say many times that the future of trade is digital, it's green, and it must be inclusive. The WEIDE Fund targets both inclusivity and digitization. Today, digitization presents exciting opportunities for us to help women access global value chains. Digital trade, specifically trade in services delivered digitally via computer networks, as you've heard time and time again, is the fastest growing segment of trade, and we must help our women tap into this. Pamela and I decided we could not afford for women to be left behind, and that's why we're both partnering ITC and WTO to create this fund, which will empower women by leveraging the potential of digitization to help them access global and regional value chains. So, ladies and gentlemen, one generous donor has helped us kick off this fund with $5 million, which we are going to sign today. And that is the United Arab Emirates. It will enable, as we launch this, I'm also encouraging other donors to please join in. We are going to start the activity so that donors who are thinking about it will see that it actually works. But no amount is too small. No support or partnership is too trivial. Please work with us. You will never regret it. And I just want to tell you, I'm excited about the women we are going to support. And I hope that next public forum, some of them will stand up here and tell you what it's all about. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Director General. As always, that call to join, it's never too late, and you heard the Director General herself saying this. Now we would like to invite Ms. Pamela Koch-Hamilton, Executive Director of the International Trade Center, to the stage for her remarks. The floor is yours.
Oh, nice. You guys have automatic adjusters and stuff. It's pretty impressive. Greetings and thank you for joining us. 7 months ago, we launched the Women Exporters in the Digital Economy Fund in Abu Dhabi. It's a moment that will be forever ingrained in my memory and one that reaffirmed just how far we've come in changing how the world thinks about women's role in our economy. I remember all too well the naysayers who insisted that trade didn't affect women and men differently, who told us to invest our time and resources elsewhere. I'm glad we didn't listen. We're not good at that, are we, Dr. Ngozi? Because what I saw in Abu Dhabi in February reaffirmed that when we invest in women, the results are nothing short of amazing. By being our first donor to the WEIDE Fund, the United Arab Emirates, thank you, Ambassador, has showed us that their commitment to supporting the economic empowerment of women and their long-term success and development is unparalleled. And we'll be forever grateful for your support in getting this off the ground. Thank you. And we couldn't be more grateful to have Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, a true gender champion and my sister in arms, as our partner in this fund. I always want to be on Dr. Ngozi's side. That's my mantra. Wherever she's going, that's where I am. DG, thank you for being an inspirational partner day in and day out throughout this journey. Today, only 1 in 5 exporting firms are led by women. If we want a fairer, more resilient, prosperous society, one that we're proud to pass on to the next generation, we cannot afford to let that stand. At ITC, we work closely with women-led businesses. We actually have a whole phalanx of them here today from the various She Trades hubs across the world. Could you stand up, please? Because I noticed you all didn't stand before. Can you stand up, please? These women represent the thousands of women that we have helped over the years and that we're continuing to build out as we move forward. It's really critical that we have these hubs, that we have this presence, and that we have women that we work with on the ground who actually not just translate but amplify what we do. I'd like to also say that, the WEIDE Fund was set up with a very clear and simple purpose: to help these women-led businesses take full advantage of the digital revolution so they would grow, trade, and take the world by storm. It's also a promise to women entrepreneurs around the world that we will never falter in our commitment to gender equality, underpinned by women's economic empowerment. It's our declaration that we aren't afraid to be bold, to go the distance, to champion better trade for a better world. And it's what compels us to call on everyone here today to step in and step up so that this WEIDE Fund can not only live up to the expectations of women entrepreneurs, but actually surpass them. Thank you.
Now we are going to be moving into a very fun portion of our session. For this, we would like to invite back to the stage the Director General. I know you're all holding your breath to see what this game is about. Okay, all our mics are on. We are prepared. Yes. So this portion, the game portion, is going to be shown through this board. And what happened is, over the last few days, we have been collecting questions for this Ask Me Anything quiz for the WTO Director General and for our Executive Director at ITC.
I don't know about this game.
This is a surprise. So these are questions that we've collected from colleagues, from viewers, audiences, and we've received many of them also via social media and email. And we've selected the top 4 or 5 to ask them both today. So let's get started. First question, it's all about women in trade, of course. Okay. If today you were a woman entrepreneur, what would your business be? And first, we'd like to hear from the Director General and then from the Executive Director.
You're really shielding your executive director.
She is my boss.
You see, Nicole, you need to be up here to protect me. If I were to be a woman entrepreneur, I think the issue is, I'm sure most of you don't know, I'm already a woman entrepreneur. Can anyone guess what type of business I would start?
Oh. Dress? No?
Trade?
Design?
Okay.
No?
None of the above. When I started these 2 businesses, my brothers, who are real business people, laughed and said only their sister will start a business that doesn't earn much money. But I am an entrepreneur, and I think I started two businesses. They are both knowledge businesses. The first is a polling organization that does opinion polls in Nigeria and Africa. And I started it 15 years ago. And I think what I would do would be to, to try to push it towards more digital and digitization of its work. It now employs 53 young people full-time. Have nothing to do with it. It's being run by a very brilliant PhD from Johns Hopkins. Wow. It employs, when it does polling in the field, another 1,000 or so people, researchers in the field, but 53 full-time. Wow. The other is another knowledge business, a think tank that has 35 brilliant young masters and PhDs. So I'm an entrepreneur, although it's a
digital entrepreneur as well. Amazing. Thank you, DG. It was a fun question, but you really took it into a deeper way. Thank you. To our executive director, the same question, please. If you're an entrepreneur, what would your business be?
Well, I thought about it while the DG was talking. As you said, you gave me time, right?
Unfairly. Unfairly.
The one thing I thought about, and I really, every Olympics, I remember that I wanted to be an athlete at one point. So since this Olympics has come around again, I re-engaged with the sports industry. And one of the things I would love to do is become a sports manager, in the sense that image, branding, engaging with sports people who don't have the kind of representation they need, negotiating proper contracts, ensuring that they are protected, looking at their IP rights, their image rights. So that's one thing. But that's ambitious. So the other thing I'd really like to do is to build a little hut on a beachside and put books and coffee and just have people, lie around in hammocks and just have a good time.
We love that. Both dreams are very doable, I think. Thank you very much. We head to the second question. Let's see if we can get it off. Okay. What role do you hope men will play in the Women and Trade agenda? And DG, if you don't mind.
I'm beginning to mind, actually.
If you want me to go first, I'll go first.
Go first.
Maybe
Go
okay.
first.
All right, I'll go
Okay.
first.
Yes.
We'll save you this time.
While I think about it.
It's always an interesting question when you say the role men can play, because I think men are already playing a role. The issue is what positive role men can play. Sorry. I think what is important is to ensure that the role is not just a passive one, but a proactive promotion of women's rights, of women's ability to function effectively in the trade and international field, a recognition of equality, and not just a recognition, but in essence, walking alongside and ensuring that the process that has made women not as able to engage in economic empowerment arenas continues to dissipate. In other words, if we, for example, can do the gender-responsive public procurement and get most of the men in Parliament to agree to carving out a percentage for women entrepreneurs, it would be a powerful statement of what could be done by governments, mostly led by men, to ensure that women have at least a share of the pie, which is a $13 trillion industry.
Thank you. Proactive and positive engagement. Thank you. DG, same question, please.
I really agree with Pamela's observation, and I can add that I see so many roles that men can actively play. And, when we're talking about empowering women, we shouldn't just be talking to each other and be our own echo chambers. We cannot do it unless the men agree to partner with us. And that is the bottom line. So I see them very proactively. There is no man here who says they are not able to do anything. One, there's the mentoring,
Yep.
mentoring of women. Many male entrepreneurs have better access to information, to finance, to all the things that are needed to make a business viable than women do. So when you succeed, you can mentor some other women who are trying to be entrepreneurs and support them. You can be their advocate. You can make it possible for them to access those same resources that you are able to access. You can be their moral support. There are so many ways that men can be directly helpful. And I think that I'd like to encourage them. And most of all, you can bring up your boys to know that empowering women is the right thing to do. And when you have an empowered female partner, it makes such a huge difference in your household, to your kids, to the nation, and to the world. And I'm not just, these are not empty words. Econometric studies have been done on this by no less a person than people like Larry Summers. And they've shown that this is the case. So we are not talking nonsense here, or we are not making it up. It exists. So please do it, men. You're good partners. We want you to be with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, DG. Third question. Maybe this one just for the executive director then.
Okay,
Yes?
good.
Okay. This question is, which object made by a woman entrepreneur
Oh,
do
I
you
want
have?
to answer that.
DG will also answer this.
Do I have?
Yes, you
Yes.
answer that one first.
Yes.
then.
Yeah, because there are so many objects made by...
A woman entrepreneur that you most cherish. And if you
Oh,
can
that
tell
I
us
most...
why.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
most
tell
cherish
you,
is hard.
the one I most cherish is artwork.
Yes.
Female painters are also entrepreneurs. You know,
Yes.
they are talented. I adore art. And probably spend more of my money not on jewelry or on anything, but on art, especially African art. But here we have today Amal Al-Atam, whom I mentioned in the morning. I guess she's not here this afternoon, with her beautiful daughters and sisters. Just look at her talent. So the paintings I have by women artists, I value them very much. They are entrepreneurs. They are trying to make a living from their talent, and we need to support them. But I also wear and carry a lot of things by women. And I actually have my handbag here, you know, which is, it's not, can I have it maybe on stage?
Beautiful. Wow.
You know, this is made by a female entrepreneur. Adubia Jensen is her name. And she has a line of bags.
Wow.
I carry this with me everywhere. So it's, look at it, it's beautifully made.
Wow. It's beaded.
It's beaded. It's all beads by women, very meticulous work. I treasure it. I have it in all kinds of colors. You know, and it's a designer bag. So I advertise her. Go online, you'll find her, Adubia Jensen. Let me stop
That was
there.
the plug. Thank you, DG. ED, you share similar interests, but what is your favorite cherished object?
The truth is there's so many. You know, you get lots of things from, and I've had the opportunity to go all over and buy from our female entrepreneurs who've produced the most amazing soaps and jewelry and art, and, you know, so I would say the most precious thing I got was a piece of jewelry that had my name engraved in it. And I thought that was beautiful. But I am also wearing, let me model for you all.
This is becoming a very fashion artistic show.
We have a runway.
So this is actually from Nigeria.
Oh.
From Nigeria.
And it's beautiful batik. So it's so beautiful. fully done, and this
Edie,
is
would
one
you
of
mind
my
speaking
favorite
into the
things,
mic?
being able to, sorry.
Yes.
One of my favorite things is being able to wear their stuff. I just help, to try out and to show people what's possible. That's really it. I'm helping the entrepreneurs. But this is one of the things I love the most.
Thank you very much. So if you haven't, just to remember the bag and the outfits. These are some of the best treasured items. And then the next question, this one really is just for the DG because it's a WTO question, it looks like. You are the first head of the WTO fighting so much for gender equality. What drives you?
What drives me, I'm an economist by training. So it's not only about sentiment, even though morally and everything else, I believe totally in women's equality. And I was brought up by a father who believed in it so much that we often tease my brothers. He expected more from his girls than his boys. So he just thought we could do everything. My father thought we should get our PhDs, we should write papers and publish, we should marry, have children, bring them up nicely,
Do everything.
be good wives. So he just thought we could do anything. And, have your father believe in you so much. It was amazing. He thought we could do anything. So there's that. But my training shows that gender equality is not a luxury. It's an imperative. The world misses out on tremendous amount of economic wealth by leaving women out. And so many studies have been done. If women had the same opportunities as men, the world could increase its global GDP by $28 trillion. This is a study by McKinsey, which everybody knows about. And I could quote you so many more by World Economic Forum, etc. So it is because of that hardcore training that we're really missing out. And you can see it. When a woman is empowered in a household, it makes a huge difference to the children, to the spouse, to the husband. It makes a huge difference to the country, to the economy, and so on. So it's not sentimental. It is factual.
The data proves it. Thank
The
you very
data
much.
proves it.
Edie, I don't know if you wanted to say anything, but yes, agreed. Okay. Then we move on to the final question for both our principals.
This is a nice game after all.
Thank you. Who wins Women of the Year for you in 2024? I think this is kind of a tricky question, so please take a few seconds to consider who wants to answer first.
I'd say Kamala Harris.
Very timely.
It's not a political statement. Let me be clear. I'm saying this because it's a phenomenal thing that she has been able to do. I lived in the United States for a long time, and to be able to take on a campaign that was dying and in 1 month turn it around to where it is now is a phenomenal, and on top of it being labeled DEI or all the other things that they call us black women, is a powerful symbol of what is possible and of what women just open the door, we're going to run through it. And as she said, if we don't open the door, we'll kick it the F down. So that should become but the point I'm making is that for me is why. So that's...
Fiery answer, yes.
Well,
DG,
she's half Jamaican.
that helps.
That's true. That is true. Well, Pamela is from ITC, which is much beloved, and she's much beloved by her members. I cannot make any statement, even if I say it's not political, it will be so interpreted. So over to you. I think what you said makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.
But I didn't say it.
didn't
I didn't say it. I've been
called no
thinking. You
names.
gave me time to think a little. And I mean, this may be on a slightly different note, but it's very personal. I think the Women of the Year, not woman, but Women of the Year for me, are all those women in conflict-affected zones It really hurts when I see women, whether they're in Gaza, they're in Sudan, they're in Afghanistan, they're in Ukraine, they're in Russia, they're in whatever conflict there is. You see women struggling to put food on the table, struggling to think, how am I going to, and the men too. I'm not saying the men are not doing it. They obviously are. But these women are worrying about this, and to me, they're heroes. They're heroes. And when I see them, I get so sad sometimes. So for me, the women of the year, the women in conflict-affected zones who did not cause any of this conflict. And this is where I have to call men out. Because when I look at almost all the conflicts we have today, men are behind it. So this is one where I will not give men a pass.
Thank you very much, both to Director General and Executive Director, for being so honest and candid. If we can ask that you just remain here right before we head into the signing, but we're first going to give you a round of applause before we welcome the ambassador. So now we would like to invite to the stage His Excellency Mr. Abdel Salam Mohammed Al Ali, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the United Arab Emirates, to deliver his remarks.
Thank you very much, Susanna. I wish you've asked me the last question, by the way. And let me tell you something. If I would say a few words to the lady who have worked very hard in this organization for the last 4 years, I would say the Woman of the Year is Dr. Ngozi. Let me tell you, why. For a lot of reasons. I've been working very hard and very closely with DG for the last 2 years. And she is one of those women, very respectful. She works very to the extreme hard of her best in order to achieve things. She is not a failure by nature. She is very positive. And she has something like from God. She's working very hard that she felt in a very positive way, and all the challenging aspects might come down the road. Thank you very much, DG. I still remember maybe 5 months ago when we talked about it, DG, about this great initiative prior going to Abu Dhabi, to my country. And to me, this was great. And I know the effectiveness behind it, how will it will affect the women entrepreneurs. And we set also a figure. And I thought if we could reach 50% of that figure, we'll be in a way much better shape. But here we go. This dream became a reality today. So thank you. So allow me first to express my sincere thanks to both Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, WTO Director General, and also to Ms. Pamela Cook-Hamilton as well, Executive Director of ITC, for organizing this high-level meeting and for tremendous effort they undertake to promote digital technology adoption among women entrepreneurs in developing countries and LDCs. The UAE is honored to contribute $5 million to the WTO ITC fund. This donation reflects our dedication to supporting the global advancement of women in trade and economic development. This contribution, as you know, was officially announced on the sidelines of MC13 by His Royal Highness Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the UAE. The United Arab Emirates is the first country to contribute to this fund. This voluntary contribution is a testament to our belief in the transformative power of inclusive trade policies and the essential role that women play in driving economic growth and innovation. The UAE has a long-standing commitment to the economic empowerment of women. Our leadership is very much committed to creating an environment where women can thrive and contribute meaningfully to all sectors of society. We all know how digital trade is steadily and rapidly growing compared to the other segments of international trade, and the huge unprecedented opportunities it provides. This landmark initiative greatly helps women-led businesses and female entrepreneurs both in developing economies and LDCs, and leveraging these opportunities by increasing their visibility, boosting their participation in a global trade. Our investment in digital infrastructure and smart technologies is designed to create a robust ecosystem that supports the growth of businesses, including led by women, and facilitates seamless international trade. By supporting this kind of initiative, we are not only enhancing our commitment to global trade, but also ensuring that benefits of trade are accessible to everyone, including women entrepreneurs who are often underrepresented in global trade. In conclusion, the UAE donation to the fund is more than a financial contribution. It is a reflection of our values and commitment to creating a more equitable and inclusive global trading environment. We look forward to the positive impact that this fund will have on empowering women in trade and excited to continue working with both organizations to advance this important cause. I wish the ITC and the WTO every success in their joint efforts and hope that other countries really will contribute to the collective efforts in order to make possible the achievements of the overall objective set by both organizations. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador, for the contribution and for your remarks. If we can now all, Your Excellencies, head to the table for the signing of the grant agreement. A final round of applause, please. This marks the implementation of the fund. Thank you very much. This marks the official launch of the implementation of the fund. And I believe, as you heard from our principals and the ambassador, countries and corporations are very welcome to join and to contribute to the fund. And if you are wondering how you can get involved, we have a video to show you on next steps, so you can learn how to contribute to the fund.
Last February, the World Trade Organization and the International Trade Center launched the Women Exporters in the Digital Economy, or WEIDE Fund, at the 13th WTO Ministerial Conference in Abu Dhabi. The WEIDE Fund has 4 key objectives. First, provide women entrepreneurs with funds and work with financial institutions to close the access to finance gap. Second, deliver technical assistance and digital-related upskilling to women entrepreneurs. Third, connect women to the digital marketplace. And fourth, create inclusive and effective business ecosystems through partnerships with private and public sector actors. The fund consists of 3 main bodies. The board, who will decide on policy and strategy. The technical committee, who will present work plans and funnel applications to the board for approval. The secretariat, who will manage day-to-day operations. To deliver real impact at scale, the fund will be implemented through country projects in cooperation with business support organizations, BSOs, such as export promotion agencies and SME development agencies. Each year, potential partners will be invited to apply to the fund. BSOs will be selected on clearly defined criteria such as market size, technical and operational capacity, commitment, country development status, and regional representation. At the country level, the fund will implement a 2-track system. Each track includes a grant component and a complementary technical assistance component. Track 1 will support women-led MSMEs to improve their competitiveness with a focus on improving digital skills, networks, and market access. Track 2 will support exporting and export-ready women-led MSMEs to scale their businesses and expand their markets with a focus on digital marketplaces. All information on the fund and application process can be found on the WEIDE Fund webpage. We invite more organizations and countries to advocate and fundraise for this important initiative.
Yes, a round of applause. As you just heard, the WEIDE Fund webpage is now live, so you can check it out. You can check it out for more information on the fund, as well as how to get involved. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for us here today. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to you reaching out to the WTO and ITC teams. Yes? Okay. Yes, so with that, we thank you very much for coming, and we look forward to hearing from you on how you can partner with us on this fund. Thank you so much.